But now like there's like little gangs which are just as bad, isn't it?
Gangs that are not even gangs.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like what you class as a gang, innit? Because some of the gangs that we had probably when we was younger, they'll say they're not gangs, they're groups of friends.
Yeah, but in reality,
and
that's what a group of friends
That's
are,
what I'm saying, yeah, they're a gang of people, innit?
Group of friends are gang, innit? Until...
So, yeah.
But also, like, you see in the media and so forth, they refer to certain people as a gang and not. You hear about the guy who was in the Asda and was in the toilet and told off some kids, and the kids came out and stabbed him in the chest. No, he's dead.
Nah.
So my man must have been like his 50s or something. He went to the toilet just to like, he was going somewhere, stopped to the Asda to go to the toilet. It's in the news every day. Went to the toilet, saw some kids messing around, when he left the toilet or in the toilet or something, he told them off. Yeah, he's then going back to his business, going back to his car, whatever. These kids come out the toilet, one's got a knife on him, and look into a thing with this man. One of them stabs him in the chest, stabbed him in the heart, man's dead.
See, that's what scares me, because it's like the unruly aspect of it.
Yeah, there's no remorse, is there?
Because like I said, back in the day, I felt like obviously if you got into an argument with someone, obviously you know that they're going to get access to a gun, but regards to not going to necessarily be rolling around with a gun on them. Yeah. So if anything, it'll be like, okay, I'm going to come for you, and you'll know that they're coming for you. But if someone's got a knife on them, then boom, it could just be instant. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's more common up here now, innit? Like knife crime was primarily like London, innit? Someone got stabbed, it was always London, but now it's here.
It's everywhere though, to be fair.
It's always been everywhere, but I just feel like
it's
you're seeing it more now up here as well.
But like I said, like it's close.
Back in the day, it was a fight, innit? It was two guys fighting, or maybe a group of people.
No,
fighting.
it does that no more though. They not fight no more.
No.
Or they might fight, and then next minute someone's pulled out a knife. So
yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like within that fight, like someone could pull out a knife and something could
escalate.
Happen, just like that. And then obviously someone pulled out a knife on you, it's like pride, it's ego, it's all of that. So then more than likely, like, oh, my man pulled a knife out of me, so now I need to make sure I roll with a knife just in case
for
someone
protection.
else. Yeah.
I think it's mad because these kind of things, in terms of it happening to me, I don't really think about that. I don't get shook by it at all, because I think if it happens to me, it's just me. But I think if it happened to my kids,
I think that's what the difference is, innit? Like, you're not scared for yourself now because you know what you'll be like in certain situations. Or at our age, like, I'll be like, in reality, I shouldn't be in that situation.
That's what I mean.
Do you know what I mean? Like the guy that you just spoke about at Asda. Yeah, for me, I think it depends now, and that time's different. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you work for Asda? Do you know what I mean? Do you work for Asda? Are you a security guard at Asda? Are you getting paid for this? No. So if I went into the Asda toilets and the kids was messing around in the Asda toilets, I can't really say that I'm gonna turn around and start lecturing these kids about
only if.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with saying it, though, innit?
Nah, again, it depends. Again, it depends on how you say it, though.
To me, the only reason why I would say something to, like, if there's a group of kids and I'm messing about, if I was with Sereno and someone's nearly knocked in, about, yo, watch what you're doing.
Yeah.
But even if they knocked into me, I'd be like, oh, watch out, innit?
Yeah,
but
be careful.
I wouldn't be like, oh, you guys shouldn't be doing this. You should be on the straight and narrow and doing this. Because if someone spoke to me when I was young like that, I'd be like, shut up, man.
Yeah. And that's my point. Like, are you my dad?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I suppose that's what my mindset is. It's like, well, I'm not their parent, so why am I gonna come?
But
here
back then there was a fear of them knowing your parent. No, you understand?
Back in the day,
it was like,
but now kids don't care.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they don't care because they don't have that. There's more infrastructure in it.
Community aspect.
Community's gone.
Thing could get back to your parents. If you're disrespectful to someone in the community or someone who's older, they will know it's someone who's
who your parents be.
Who your parents be. Get back
and then
to them
that's
now.
like, right,
but now, if I seen a kid, I wouldn't know who their parents are unless I know that particular person.
Unless you know the kid,
then like I wouldn't know, or even if I knew a kid. But now, obviously, I'm in that range where I probably wouldn't necessarily know whose is unless their child.
No, it's mad.
It's like similar age.
We're gonna go out and see kids and be like, right, that's my little cousin. I not even know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how mad it is.
You wouldn't even know. Whereas obviously back in the day, you like pretty much everyone knew who.
There was a community.
Even if you was somewhere then, right, and you was out with your friends, for instance, I don't know, in Safeway back in the day, and you're chilling, you're messing around
as kids,
in the toilets after school or whatever, yeah, and then a random person. So normally, if it was, I suppose, a black guy, then you might think, oh, they might know my dad.
Yeah, exactly.
But
But
if
now-
it was a random, just a white guy, then that came in and walked in and started telling you off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you'd be like, oh fuck off, and run off, kind of thing, innit?
That's
wouldn't
not.
think anything
That's
of it.
what my point
I get that
is.
in it,
Yeah.
And where-
for
in
them
this-
to wait for him.
No, but in this day and age, though, we know, yeah, that all the kids are walking around with knives and all this thing. There's that potential there. So suppose my mindset.
We know that though, but not the everyday person.
everyday
Nah,
person.
but
like that.
and this is what I point. But everyday person should think like that because that's society.
Why
And
not?
it-
But
Because
you have to remember-
do you mean because they watch the news.
Yeah, but they could be in an affluent area, as the, you know what I'm saying? So
You're
in
saying
affluent
that.
areas,
It don't matter.
You say they watch the news, but you always think, oh, that can't happen to.
So
Some
that's
people
them being
don't.
stupid.
No,
then.
Why is it though? Why?
it's
Because
like-
if I'm gonna watch, yeah, the news of watching all these young lads,
So
and
you
watching
think when you see a group of people-
watching all the statistics,
Yeah.
of people getting stabbed up, we've said it in the same sentence,
Yeah.
that oh yeah, you know what's happening in society, do you know? What I'm
yeah, but
saying?
so what I'm
also
saying is
in
that
it,
when you
because-
go out, you see a group of kids, you automatically think they've got a knife.
No,
That's what you just said though.
no. How did I?
Because you just said he should know. They should know
Nah,
because
you
we
should-
know that
But
kids are walking around with
there's
knives.
a potential, yeah, because there is a potential.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
what
so
I would
that's
say is, I wouldn't see a group of kids and go, they've definitely got a knife, but there would be a potential that one of them out of that group could have a knife.
Yeah, but you wouldn't. I
But
wouldn't.
that's not going to be your first thought, no.
But you have to remember.
Yeah, exactly. So that probably wasn't his
No,
first thought.
but what my point is yeah, but at that point you're not going to engage them, are you?
Why? Because we don't know. But we don't know the circumstances.
Because what my point is what you're going to engage them for.
Because like Jordan said, if it was bumping into his son or bumping into him, you're gonna say, yeah, watch out.
So that at that point you're engaging them, but you're walking into a park.
So you're gonna let a kid
and
bump
there's-
into you or a man bump into you?
You've not set the scenario out. So give me the
regardless of the
scenario.
scenario, I'm just saying like your everyday person hasn't grown up with our experiences because we're aware of certain things where we're like, okay, like a group of people, like be cautious of him.
Yeah.
It just in
But this
general,
what makes me laugh. But then, let me just put another slant
I
on
think
that.
it's generational then.
Let me put
Then.
another slant on that then. If you was outside a shop or was you seeing a group of kids outside of the shop, would you feel any way about going into the shop?
No, I'm walking.
Right.
But
then,
some people would.
This is what my point is though.
Yeah.
Some people
What's your
would.
point?
However, it doesn't say they won't be like, oh, stop, because they're coming from a generation where you can be told something by someone who's older, like Carlos was the same generation, and you probably respect them to a certain extent.
Yeah, whereas there's no respect now though, is there?
Whereas
there isn't.
There's not necessarily.
So this is
yeah.
my point. So I suppose. So for me, yeah, it's you're probably gonna know what the outcome's gonna be in certain situations. Do you see my point?
In a certain situation,
We
but
would be
in a
better off
in a scenario,
something
you go
like
into
that.
Asda, yeah, and a kid
Yeah,
bumps
yeah.
into the group of kids that bump into you. You're gonna say, yeah, watch what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So then you then go outside and the kids are waiting for you now.
Nah, no, and do you know what though? I don't know. I didn't watch the
full-on
news story.
situation. Yeah.
I didn't watch that full-on situation. But I can just surmise, that didn't happen
But why?
because just from my
So
experience,
there's been more to it
Yeah,
than
there's
that,
more to
obviously,
it.
yeah.
I can't imagine some kids bumping into you.
Yeah.
Then you just going, be
They
careful.
might have been
what you're doing.
disrespectful in the toilet
You know what
or
I'm saying?
something.
Yeah, I
and
feel-
then someone said something.
Yeah,
in
and
like,
it's escalated more.
escalated.
It's escalated more than that.
But on the flip side, that can also happen as well.
Yeah.
A kid bumps into you, like even when you've gone out on nights out and you know you might have stepped on someone's shoe or someone stepped on your shoe or someone stepped on someone else's shoe. It's like, oh sorry mate, what do you mean sorry? Bam.
Yeah, but again, for me, I feel like that's a different scenario as well. One, because most of the time there's alcohol involved when you're going
Yeah, I
when you're
get
talking
that.
about a night out. And two, the only similarity, I suppose, then is that you're with a group of friends and you try and show off in front of that group of friends.
Well, that's
so
what I'm
sometimes
saying.
on a night out you might do that.
Yeah.
Or if you was, I suppose, if one was in the toilet and this guy came, and he didn't just say to him, because if there was messing about in the toilets, what's messing about in the toilet? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So in that sense,
if they was in the toilet and they're doing something that's
Illegal or something.
Yeah.
along those lines.
then again, it depends on the person, every
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
I know my personality. I'll probably say something and I'll be like, lads, what you doing?
Yeah,
do you know what I
yeah.
mean? And it's how you come across from saying it to him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Boys, what you doing?
Because
Like,
some people you hear them like muttering under the breath or something. It could have been like, oh, these or something.
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
that.
So you don't know the situation.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, I don't feel like I would have got in there like, what are you doing? Like, don't do that. Like, people need to use that, or someone's gonna have to pay for that. Someone's gonna have to replace
Yeah.
that. I would leave that situation. Then as I'm walking out, I'll just say to the security guy, there's kids messing around in there because that's his job.
Yeah, of course it is.
Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I understand that aspect.
I'm not saying that this guy
Deserved
to get stabbed or anything like that. But all my point is there's going to be more to that than him just bumping into him and going.
But my point on that is something as small as that can escalate into something. You get me? Yeah, but what you're saying is right as well.
But it's how, and that's what I'm saying, because it's how you deal with the scenario.
Yeah, definitely. But even you saying, come on, lads, don't do that. There could be a one cheeky kid like, who the fuck are you? And you say, all right, then cool. And they could still wait outside for you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I just feel like
it's a case of like, not everyone can read the room.
Nah.
Not everyone can read the room. You can't ascertain all situations, circumstances. So, like I said, something can happen and because they come from a different generation, they just don't understand. Like I said, we've all grown up in the environment that we've grown up in, so we are aware of certain things happening, and we have like a level of understanding.
We're street smart, innit? That's
what basically.
And kids these days are not street smart.
Yeah.
I've
gone to university, and like some of the things that I'm like saying like have happened, they'll be like, what? Like what? Like that happens? That's real life. And then that's what I said. That's when I started to realise, okay, the environment that I've grown up in isn't necessarily the norm. It's not the norm. It's norm for our area, but not in life in general.
Do you remember being younger, like being in college or something, and then you're hearing from teachers or so forth saying things to us like, oh, well, be careful because there's been robberies in Fallowfield, there's been a robbery here, or this happened where this person got mugged and so forth. And I'm like, yo, why? How did that happen to them? Because in my humble opinion, I've been in this city for long enough that I notice certain things, and I'm like, if I see someone follow me for a while, I'm dipping down a corner and I'm gone. You ain't seeing me no more. Or I'm not going out late at night in certain parts of Manchester because I'm aware. But I think the difference is when you grow up in a city or in the inner city of a city, it's easier to understand those nuances, whereas people who come from smaller places to here, it's different.
It's different because they can do that, like maybe in their area they're able to like walk down the street, so they think, oh, I can walk down here or whatever. Like when I was growing up, I used to think, oh, that I can go anywhere, no one's gonna rob me. But in reality, that's not gonna happen to everyone, if you know what I mean. Like they can't just go to areas and they might be robbed in it. Like obviously some people just would be robbed because they'll be out with the phones. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh right, they have all the valuables on display and set things like that. Certain areas, like if you knew you was going to certain area, like, oh, I'm not gonna wear this. Do you know what I mean? It just draws attention to you.
I think sometimes if I, or maybe one of you guys as well, go to an area which is very different to Manchester, maybe more of a rural place, it'll be a similar kind of thing. We're not aware of those situations. We look for certain signs, or maybe subconsciously look for certain signs to be like, yo, this, I don't ramp around here.
I grew up in my side, innit? So going around there is normal, feel safe.
Yeah, 100%.
Me going to Salford, I feel like, different around here. You know what I'm saying?
No,
but people from Salford be like, it's calm. But then they might not want to come to my side.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But that's what happens. I seen that from going to Hull. You get me? Yeah. But then I went to some pubs when I first went down there and I wasn't aware of where I was being. And I went into some certain rough places where one of my friends was like, oh yeah, meet me here. And I was like, all right. And then I just rocked up at this pub. I walk in and everyone just goes quiet and everyone turns and looks at you and I'm thinking, like,
but you read the room.
Why am I here? I had no choice but to read the room because do you know what I mean?
Like, if you walk out, it's like, right, he's a victim.
I walked in and the whole pub, this loud ass busy pub, just went dead.
And I get a pint, please, mate.
And everyone just turned and looked at me, and literally everyone turned, looked at me, and then I thought, oh shit, like I'm ready to turn back around and walk out. That's how I felt. And I went to turn around, and then all I heard was, oh Anton, over here, and looked over, mate was at the back, and then as soon as he went, oh fuck off, he's with me, and then yours went, and then carried on talking again, and I was just like, Ras, like,
see, that's what I'm saying, it's like reading the room, innit?
Like, but I just felt even after that,
you still felt uneasy.
I felt uncomfortable. So I had my one drink with him. Had a little laugh, and I was like, right, I need to go. But I'll be back. And then even the landlord was like, oh yeah, are you gonna come back? I'm like, oh yeah, definitely, I'll be back. I've not been back to that place again.
You've never been to like a pub on a football day, and like maybe you've been somewhere near Old Trafford or back in the day in their main road or near the Etihad nowadays, going to one of them pubs, and you've been like, right, just tense in here, like. uncomfortable. Cause I've done that before, and I'm like, right, I can't stay in these places, man.
But it's funny because, like, even though it is your city and you've grown up here, like, I used to obviously have my season ticket for City and go to the games. But then set times I'll just be looking around and think, wow, I'm actually a minority here, like, full-on minority. Yeah. And I'll be looking around just for, like, one black person.
Do you mean City fans in general, or?
The football in general,
oh, right.
isn't it?
Right. Sorry, I thought you meant City fans are minority, innit?
No.
There's not many of us.
Guys, laughing now.
But yeah, just being black is like, I'm a minority here, like. Yeah, I never normally feel like a minority per se in Manchester.
You man ever seen Cass?
Cass.
C-A-S, Cass.
No.
That was like the one of the first black hooligans in it. I think he was in West Ham film. But watch it, man, sick, because he's like the only black guy in it. And obviously, like back then, it was
racism,
hooliganism.
well,
it was rife in it, and obviously, kind of like joined these hooligans and got taken in. But it's a good film, man.
But because it made him feel part of the family a bit.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the fear of like, your child in those particular situations. Like, just imagine that. Yeah. Like the first thing that you think is like, I'm a protector. I need to protect. Yeah.
Even in school, nursery, taking them there, leaving us like, ras.
So I'll tell you one thing about Ty, but let me just touch on similar to what you said. I've not been in a pub, but I've been on a train. So obviously I live in Hull, and Leeds played United, and United bus up Leeds, and I went on a train. As if the joke about it was, I didn't even go to the game. I meant to go on a train and get on a train and go home during the game when the game was being played. Yeah, my train got delayed, so then I ended up getting on a train and I sat there at a table because I wanted to have my iPad out, and then there was just all Leeds fans surrounding me, and every single no.
Oh, okay.
But I was wearing my Manchester accent. Yeah. You get me? So these guys was just slagging off, saying if we see a fucking United fan, I was going on. I'm sat there, just like,
I don't support United.
Why?
I was on a train one time, me and one of my friends who happens to be white, and we're going to work, and I think we're going from Manchester to Reading, and some guy, he was like really drunk, so I couldn't work out exactly what he was saying, but it seemed like he was trying to abuse me, solely me, and I'm the only black person that I saw in the carriage, so I'm assuming it's racial abuse, but I didn't really know, and it got really awkward, and it's one of those situations where you think to yourself, I'm just going to sit here and ignore this because I don't really care what the guy's saying. I can't really understand what he's saying. I don't really care. But I thought, you'd think someone would be like, yo, be quiet, leave the guy alone. But everyone stays quiet, innit? Like in those situations where it's awkward and I can't even leave if I wanted to because I'm on a train. Like, what? I can move carriage, but man can just follow me in the carriage. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're in the open space, you can dip off, get a bus, get a train, get in your car, get off somewhere, whatever.
That's when you'd expect your counterpart to like
jump in,
say something.
See, I was by myself on the train.
Was he a friend or a colleague though?
Both at the time, and like, it's still like at the time, nah. Still a friend. Still a friend. But what I was going to say is, that situation, I don't think he knew what to do because for him, that's not a thing that happens in his life. Where, to be fair, it not really happened in my life. I didn't even know what the guy was trying to say. But yeah, it's just weird where I'm like, you can't, I'm sure you'd be aware of in that situation. You can't escape when you're on a train. If it's tense, like, where can you go?
I just kept quiet and I just kept myself to myself until they involved me. And then one of them, that was because I know it's like one of the leaders or something of it who was like, had a bit of a say, should we say. He was sat there on the table, do you know what I mean? There was this other guy next to me who was ready and his jaw was going off and everything. So he was drugged up and he was just ready to fight somebody, do you know what I mean? And he's the one who turned around to me and he goes, who do you fucking support? And I was just there, and I thought I was gonna lie. Do you know what I mean? Because the whole time I was on the train, I was thinking, who should I say I support? Do you know what I mean? Arsenal. And then when it came to it, and he asked me, I just said it. I went United, and I went Leeds. But I don't want to fight. Like, I started laughing. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I probably like, I felt nervous. But then I did that, and then the guy opposite started laughing, and he goes, "You've got a fucking pair of balls, haven't you?" And I went, "I know." I said I was gonna lie, but I thought I can't because I just thought I'll just be honest. And he goes, "Oh no, I appreciate that, mate." And then he started talking to me and goes, right, lads, we've got a United fan here. And then they all went quiet and he goes, and nobody fucking touches him. Like that. And I thought, oh, thank fuck. And then straight away I felt nice. And then we had to talk about the game and I was like, nah. And then I was telling him, I didn't even watch the game. I said, I was trying to get on the train to get home before you guys came on this because I knew it was going to happen. And then he was laughing. He goes, I bet you was fucking shitting yourself when it was going on. I was like, yeah, I was, mate. Yeah, I've been sat here the whole time. But then it turned into more jovial, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sorry, just to bring it back to the kids I'm feeling how they are. I'm not sure if you guys remember when Tyler first started his high school and I was feeling a bit more nervous about how he is with interaction with his friends and stuff how he's socially, he don't go out much. But then I was speaking to one of my friends whose son goes to the same school and his son's always out, like he's active and he's
same year.
Same year.
Okay.
Everything streetwise and he knows his stuff. Man. He just knows his stuff. Like he gets about on his bike. He's got friends for days. You know what I mean? Like he's always on his phone. He's always out. Tyler don't do any of that. Yeah. And I was like, oh. And then in my head, at first, I was thinking, why is Tyler not getting that? Why is he not doing that? But then the other side of it was then he goes, but then he's always in detention. I'm always paranoid for him. This, that. And then when he was hearing how Tyler is and how Tyler don't go out, he's like, I wish he was like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then it's sort of in my mind, I was thinking, you know what? Actually, the way how he is, he wants to chill in more and is actually more subdued. Is not a bad thing, you know. And I was like, actually, you know what?
You've got to let them be who they are.
Yeah, and especially while he's in and he's here with me, and I thought I think that's why he embraced the whole Minecraft thing a lot more because I was like, well, actually, he's in. He wants to spend time with his dad doing something.
So whilst he does want to do it, then you appreciate that.
Yeah, so do you know what? Let me pull it in. Let me do it with you.
Because if you can get to a certain age, we're like, nah.
I don't want to play with you. I want to go out. I want to be out all the time. So I thought, you know what? Let me just embrace it while it's here.
Yeah.
And then, because there's going to be a time when it comes where he's going to always want to be out. Do you know what I mean? So then when that comes, that time comes. But right now, a lot of the concerns that my friend will have with his son, I don't have that with Tyler. Because I know, literally, he'll go from school, he'll come home. Like, if he goes to after school or he's doing a drama, he's going to put on a drama show, and it comes to his rehearsals, because it gets dark earlier, he speaks along and goes, oh, do you want to pick me up?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Even though he could walk home the same route, because he walks to school himself anyway, and sometimes it's not even that dark, and I'll be like, oh, just tell him to walk home, Lord. I don't know, I'll just go and get him.
Because it makes sense, doesn't it?
Do you know what I mean? So he's already got that mentality anyway. Do you know what I mean? Where he wouldn't want to be out. It's probably similar to how Aaron is. He wouldn't want to be out on the streets after dark because he's like, nah, it's dark. What am I doing? I want to be at home. Do you know what I mean? So he just personally would rather be at home than go out and mess around at that time, I suppose.
That's good though. I think when your kids have something they're interested in, like an after school thing, like a drama or whatever, or they think I want to go home, then it will hopefully in the future lead to less drama because they're not out there looking for something to entertain them that could cause them problems. You know what I mean? That's why I rate Jordash because he's gotten Sereno into so many things. He's always going to find, in my humble opinion, I assume Sereno's always going to find something constructive and interesting to do and not end up in them situations where some parents are like, yo, here's an iPad all day, and then they're like...
It's like affordability, isn't it? Like, it just depends because some people can't actually afford to, or even say if they work shifts or anything along those lines, like sometimes the kids are coming home, they've got to work, so they might be coming home to an empty house and okay, the parent might have cooked them food or whatever, like yeah, you can eat, but then it's like
what else
to do?
That mental stimulation.
Yeah. So they might find more comfort in going to another friend's house. That other friend's parent may just allow them to go out and play. Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
but I think it depends on the personalities of the child as well, doesn't it? So like Sereno's personality is gonna dictate that as much
100%.
as what Jordash does. Like with mine, my two are the same. They got treated the same, should I say? But they're completely different.
100%.
Layla wouldn't come home and want to read a book or want to come home and do any extracurricular or even stay at school and do extracurricular unless it's a certain club that's come up and she thinks that interests me.
I want to do that.
Yeah, no, I want to come home because I finished school now. So why am I staying here when I could go home?
Speaking of coming home, and this is a bit of a side thing, but I'm really curious in your opinions here. Do you man let your kids sleep over at other people's houses?
Depends.
No, not really. You know.
I mean, say with people like.
What do you mean? Yeah,
like
whose
friends
house?
or
Friends.
family.
or family or in general? Because like when I was younger, my mum's rule was you have your own bed, go to your own bed. Unless it was like my grandparents' house or a particular family member's house, I was allowed to stay at no one else's yard. And to this day, if I'm somewhere that I'm not meant to be, I'm like, nah, just go home, man. Because home is where I'm supposed to be. It's like, it's ingrained in me. But I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and they're you just looking to stay out on a regular basis. And I'm like, but why? You have your own bed. Someone bought the bed for you. Just go sleep in your own comfortable bed.
You just have to be aware of like just everything like in society. Obviously, it's like
too many pedos about.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of these situations, it could be like family members or anything along those lines. Like you never actually know. Like the only way you can know is if you're looking after your own child.
Also, you wouldn't let him stay out anywhere. Then,
I would obviously let him stay out. Like it goes like, yeah. Do you know what I mean? I would fully let him stay out because you can stay out family members, but at the end of the day, you don't actually know. Say for example, it's like, do you know when people have step parents or anything along those lines, you can always get situations where something like that could potentially happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like these things happen in the world. Like there's no two ways.
No, there is.
It. Do you know what I mean?
I heard a story from
Right.
someone at work where they was living with a stepdad or whatever, and then for years when someone moved out and they was house sharing, so it's like council house in it, and then they went and did a house swap with somebody, but they actually knew who they did the house swap with, done the house swap. And then when they swapped the house and the new people came in and it was like went to redecorate, there was drill holes that was drilled into the bathroom. And so the stepdad had been perving on all the kids in the bathroom.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
for the longest.
There's like scary
You know what I mean?
situations like that, and this isn't like something which isn't uncommon. Like it's happened, and it happens like over time. So that's where my fears then come in, because how can I can't control that. The only way I can control it is if I'm looking after my own child, but then you never actually really and truly know.
This is my point. No, I think,
and there got to be a certain age in it so they can tell you if something's happened as well.
Yeah, precisely.
I think I've got like a short list where I'm like, I feel very comfortable with that person, where I feel like I know that person. For example, might be a brother or an uncle, or like your parents' house or their grandparents' house, where I'm like, yeah, you can stay there. But then you see someone like they go to school and little Timmy's like, oh, can I sleep at my house? I don't know you, you know. I literally don't know you.
Yeah, my kids never had that though. I mean, they've had both of them. I've only had one friend each day over at our house, and they didn't even stay the full night.
Say for example, like,
because they end up crying and going home.
I've had it when I've been, just say like people I've spoke to, just say if I'm having a conversation and girls have actually told me like they've gone to their friend's house when they were, say young, even if they're like 15, 16, and their friend's dad walks around the house like topless. Nah. Do you know what I mean? Like certain things like that, that's their friend's dad. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and you know what? The thing about it is, I can imagine that damn horrible man saying, "Oh, it was my house." Nah, mate. Like if your
got company.
Yeah, if your daughter's brought a guest, you got company around.
No, it's your house, innit?
Put your clothes on. You get me? You don't need to be walking around your house like that.
I've had it where people like, oh, like my dad said, you're not allowed to go on any other man's back, like neck, or go on their shoulders. Like, say for example, they've been like, say, like 10 or 11, and it's like, oh, right, yeah, I came home and I was on like a
piggyback ride.
Yeah, and then their dads, because obviously set people's dads have been strict in it, so they've been like, nah, don't do that, don't, because it's like you never know, innit? Yeah, like basically.
Yeah, but so I can't lie. Like if someone's trying to put my big ass 11-year-old on their back, on their shoulders,
it's questionable already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I mean. What are you doing in it? Yeah, what are you doing, mate? So obviously their mentality is probably like, what are you doing in it? Like why? Yeah, set things like that in it, but and that's why like I'm like, oh, like those things obviously come into my mind, and what you just have to like be cautious of. It's like obviously I'll feel comfortable letting Serena obviously stay at, or your house is like without being said in it, like.
I don't know if I'd want that late night though.
But then it's again, that's what I said, and then that's the issue, like different bedtime routines and whatnot.
Yo, see me. Yeah, my kids will be able to stay at everyone's house apart from Carlos's, because Carlos, honestly, Carlos would let my kids ruin them. They'll come home thinking that they can run my house. Do you know what I mean? After they get here, and Carlos spoils them. Innit, Carlos?
But then, like I said,
it's
like
not
simple
me.
things like bedtime routines and
But it's like my youngest.
what's your
innit?
kid allowed to watch at
She's
night?
allergic to milk and dairy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother
Yeah.
issue there. Whereas I know certain family members would be like, oh, yeah, have some cereal, or yeah, have this custard cream.
So you have to know that they're being able to cater to your child's needs.
100%. You got to.
No, it's true.
But she's not even like it's it's not like it's intolerance. She's allergic.
Yeah.
That means she could die.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like not the risk.
Yeah.
Do you mind ever think to yourselves, and this is probably not for Anton because your kids are grown and respectful, but for the people with younger children right now, do you feel like you wouldn't want your kids to go and stay at a particular person's house, like an auntie or an uncle or your grandparents or whatever, because
unruly.
it's hard work for them? They're like, rah, it must be hard work for the person looking after them to look after my whirlwind of a child.
I think that all the time, but then obviously your kid acts different to how they
Different
are.
in different environments.
See, for example, like with my mum, I always think she's always saying she'll take on like the kids at the same time. I'm like, really?
I know.
Like I struggle with just one in it. So,
But
then
Your mum's done
obviously-
it though, innit?
Yeah.
But your
She's
mum
natural
was
with it.
able to cope with used to.
yeah, but well, that's what I'm saying. But
Natural with it.
Do you know what I
though.
mean? Used to are worse than your kids.
But it's like,
Yeah, it's
how
true.
can you deal with? But then obviously,
especially Carlos.
it's different. No, that they're different. Yeah, in comparison to how we were, but we're her kids. Do you get me? So
Yeah,
when
but
it's
this
your
is-
own kids, are completely
No,
different
but
to when
this
it's
is
your grandkids.
this is. But you just said it.
We prepared her.
No, not even that. I feel like with your grandkids, yeah, for some mad reason, your parents have way more patience.
Yeah, 'cause they've got patience,
yeah,
innit?
and they have more time. And if you think about it, they're just embracing that time that they have with those kids. So do you know,
And
like, when
they've
we
not
have
got
them
24/7.
Yeah, when we got them 24/7, like you're saying, you're trying to be productive. You got things to do. You're paying your bills. You're doing everything. Yeah, and with them, like with your mum, when she's got the boy, it's just fun. She's like, right, I blocked out everything. My day today is my grandchildren. Do you see my point? So it's a completely different focus.
And you
that
get
you're
more
having
patient
with
as you
kids.
get older, innit?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Parents.
Oh yeah.
Our parents.
Yeah, definitely. But nah, man, it's like difficult. Like, what are your fears?
I mean, I don't mind Remy staying out because I know Remy is me and Laura have always called Remy from when he's been a little boy a show baby, because it's harder work for us at home, and when he's seeing people, he's like, oh, he's so good, he's so good. And we're just like, yeah. Well, the other day he did.
Yeah, you don't live with him.
So yeah, but he's a good kid, so I would feel comfortable with him staying at family members' houses. And again, between us, I wouldn't have an issue with that, but I wouldn't really expect him to go anywhere else, and I might even miss him if he was out of the house for more than 2 days. For more than 2 days. Yeah, because it's part of my routine now.
Yeah.
So it's part of my routine.
Nah, but you know
I put him
what?
to bed and then I'm first up to him in the morning. So
Yeah.
like even for example,
When you go and see him, are you happy in the morning when you see him? It's like, yeah, Remy.
only because he wakes up and he'll just lay and chill in bed.
That's good.
And then
That's-
I can
that's
wake
good,
up
man.
and I'll like jump out of sleep and go, is Remy awake? And I'll check on the baby monitor and he's just laying there awake. So then I'll get up, go to the room, and then he'll go, Daddy, and jump up, ready to get out. So like this morning, for example, he's not here. He didn't stay at home. He stayed with
So
my
did you
mum.
just go to his bedroom in the morning and
no.
be like, oh,
so
Remy.
I didn't wake up until after 8 o'clock.
That's good. That's a nice.
Yeah, no, that's a line because I'm usually
Yeah.
up before 7 all the time because I don't want to sleep in too late in case he's awake, and I don't know how long he's been awake for. So it's one of them where it's part of my routine.
If he's
so-
quiet, you can stay with him as long as you like.
Yeah, but don't you think it's snide though?
No, because I know from the moment he wakes
Bro,
up.
listen. When I used to come to your house when we were younger, what did we have to do? We had to ask to go downstairs.
Downstairs,
We was
yeah,
awake
yeah,
for
yeah.
time. And he's like, yeah,
Ask,
you go and
yeah,
ask, you go and ask.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
you go and
yeah.
ask.
Yeah.
And sometimes we got
Downstairs.
denied. Can we go downstairs? No. It's like, but why? No one needs to come
I
downstairs.
understand that now.
You know what I'm
I fully
saying?
understand
No
that.
one needs to come downstairs. We
I
can just-
understand that now because now I'm just like, nah, man.
Like, why are you getting up now?
Yeah. If Sereno hears me downstairs, Daddy,
Oh, I can't get downstairs without him seeing me because obviously the
you have to
landing.
walk past now.
And he'll
Sereno,
just
if he hears a noise, and sometimes it's like, where did you go? Like downstairs, try to maneuver before, because I feel annoyed when he gets up and I'm still in bed.
Yeah.
Because that annoys me, because that means you're forcing me now to get up. I'd rather get up off my own accord.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because if he wakes up before then, it's a wrap. Like I'm just like, okay. Like I even have dreams that he's woken up and I wake up I'm like, oh, he's still asleep. I can actually prepare myself for the day, innit? Because if it's the other way around, I swear down, like sometimes I think, oh my gosh, he's gonna wake up. It's like, and that's what I said. Sometimes you do.
Kicking in and that.
Yeah. Sometimes you do things like, I think, oh, if I wake up and prepare his breakfast, it's gonna make it easier for when he wakes up, and then it's a case of I'm not having to like make your breakfast here in the morning, but then it's like he's now become accustomed to his breakfast being on the table in the morning. So if for one day I'm still in bed and then still sleeping, he's like, Daddy, I want to have breakfast, like go back to sleep. Obviously in the end I'm like, okay, let's get up, because you're clearly not going back to sleep. We then go downstairs and his breakfast is not there. He's like, where's my breakfast? I'm like, yo, you've just woke up, you just seen where I've come from. Who do you think puts this breakfast here all this time? Did you think it just like appeared on your table for joke?
All you can hear is Sereno, man.
And then I feel bad for like waking up and acting like that. So if he was asleep,
I feel bad though as well.
If he was asleep, then I'm appreciating that, because I'm just like, oh.
Sometimes I wake up angry and I think, why am I angry, man? It was a kid in it. That's what kids do. They get up early in it. But I just feel like, fucking hell.
Nah, my kids don't now. Wait till they get older.
Yeah, but they can make their own breakfast, innit?
Yeah. I don't touch my kids in the morning. I touch them damn dogs, man. Honestly, them dogs.
That's why I don't have no dogs.
Yeah, Carlos, you want 2 more?
Because then you just having to deal with.
What's your routine like?
So pretty much every morning I get up with my daughter and she wakes up in the middle. Well, she wakes up normally for some weird reason around about 2 a.m. and just like shouts for a bit and then goes back to sleep again. Then she gets up about 6 and goes, Daddy, Daddy, and I'm like, so I better get up, and otherwise it's gonna get worse. So I get up.
Sarah's like, she's calling you. You didn't hear my name.
So then I go downstairs, deal with her, and if I'm lucky, she won't shout Daddy as we go past our son's room, because then that wakes him up. Then he goes, Dad, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. He's like, you downstairs? I'm like, maybe. Like, I'm coming downstairs. Then he comes downstairs. Then they're both like, so like, where's the food at? So then I've got to make the food. But sometimes I make their food the night before, so I make them like overnight oats. Simple, pretty much done. Bish bash bosh. And then I carry on doing that, dealing with them, get them ready for the day till their mum gets up. Then she goes to work. Then I drop them at school. And then if I've got work to do, I do my work. And I sit, and then their mum works late, so I've got to then put them back to bed again. And then I get about maybe like an hour to myself, where I'm like, yo, so what can I watch? What can I read? What can I do? And sometimes I just got to do the washing.
That's what you're not doing, man, innit?
It's like, it's long. I feel so like.
What do you mean the washing? Like clothes?
Clothes or the dishes or everything else for the.
This is mad. Do you know what? Oh, I got such an easy life, innit?
But you're like the provider in the household, aren't you? You're the person that goes to work. I am the person that's at home more, so it might be a different dynamic in my household compared to yours.
No, I earn more, but I'm at home more.
Yeah, but you're at home more, but then...
Yeah, you're at home, so you do it in like your work
in
break.
your work time, do you know what I mean?
My work break.
Yeah,
I
that's
try
what I
and
do.
like, say for example, if I'm not working, this way I don't like working from home, because if I'm working from home,
You're expected to do stuff.
then no. But I try and do stuff to make it easier for later on, because say if I pick up, so whoever does the pickup, say I've gone to work, Olivia will drop him off, and then I would like, I know I'm doing the pickup on that particular day. Whoever does the pickup ends up being the one who cooks. So it's like, if you're doing the pickup, you got when you're gonna cook, you're gonna prepare from the night before or what? Do you know what I mean? Because obviously Olivia does longer hours. She does like 10-hour days.
Right. Okay.
So it's like, okay, if I start at 7, then I can finish at like 2 or 3. Do you know what I mean? Then I can look after him while she's dropped him off. So that means she's gonna start at like 9 or 9:30, and then that means she's not finishing until
9.
Do you know what I mean? Like 8 or something like that. So it's just like trying to get the
I'm doing 12 hours.
right balance in between, innit? So
By the time you get home, innit?
that's why it's a bit of a madness.
The balance is hard though, isn't it? The balance of having like the kids
Balance.
with
The balance.
the balance is hard with the kids, the getting them ready and so forth, having that bit of time for your relationship, if you have time for your relationship, which you need to find time for your relationship, and also trying to like I describe it, have a bit of time for yourself, but
It's
also
mad though, innit? Because some dickhead somewhere said, I know, let's make the working day 9 till 5 on average, yeah? We're going to work 5 days a week.
And
We're
then
gonna
you're
put the
stuck in
kids
the
in
traffic
school,
for like
but
an
then
hour.
we're going to make the kids' time 9 till 3. It's going to be a 40-hour week, and then during that time, you've got to do everything that you need to do, and then obviously extracurricular activities with the kids as well.
And sleep for 8 hours.
Long, bro. Yeah, you got to get your 8 hours sleep.
I even do that. No,
I don't do
No,
that. I
that's what you're supposed to. I
six
tried to
hours
get
is a
that.
blessing, innit?
Six, and I'm laughing.
6, mate.
6 hours sleeping there, no.
And that's broken.
Yo, it's hard, isn't it?
That's broken.
It's hard. But you know what? As much as we can complain, life is what it is, and you make
Yeah,
the
of
most
course
out
it
of
is.
it.
Of course it is.
Yeah, and then just think like you get to my point and you get like 9 hours.
Show off, man.
You're a dickhead.
Yeah, you could easily get 9 hours in, man. Like, yeah,
Easily.
easy. But now I actually have to wake my kids up, and they only go, "Oh, it's time to get up." And I'm
I
like,
know,
yeah,
I know it's gonna get to that stage, but it's like
but it's not.
yeah, they're
there.
gonna go through that like regression in it where
I'm
it's
gonna
like,
get tired.
okay, I need to sleep. That they're gonna be sleeping so much longer. Do you know what I mean? Especially when they start coming to like the teen years and that.
Yeah. Mine still love sleep. Oh, when they can stay awake later as well, because that's what we'll do. Like, we'll be like, well, it's Friday, we're staying up. Let them stay up a bit later.
If I let someone else stay up late, you'll still wake up early.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
when
mad,
they're
though.
younger, innit? It's just like,
Don't
you
matter.
think, okay, it makes sense because you go in bed late, that means you're going to sleep later. Nah.
You'll stay up and then you'll hit a point in the day where it's like, yeah, you're crashing. This is because you shouldn't have woke up in the morning. You should have just stayed asleep when I told you. No.
You were like trying to tell them, try to say to them, you know what? You see, if I went to bed when I told you to go to bed, this wouldn't happen. They're looking at you like this don't make no sense.
So then I'll be like, yeah. It's like, so what you gonna do next time? Stay in bed? Nah. Same thing in the next morning. Still wake up. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. Stay safe. Look after yourself. Look after your kids.
Hashtag stay safe.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Like, comment, subscribe,
Share.
and share.